Hi, Tim here with Clive Coffee. Today we're going to show you how to drain the boilers on your Lucca M58. Before you get started, you want to make sure that you turn the machine off and let it cool down. That way when you are draining the boilers, you don't have hot water coming out, and that it's going to be the safest way to go about that. We will begin by removing our top tray, the water reservoir. We're also going to remove the front drip tray. The tools that we will need today are a 7mm wrench, and some towels will make it easy for cleanup. You could also use an adjustable wrench if you don't have the 7mm. We're going to tilt the machine on its side, and if you're looking at the machine, you see the hot water tap. That side of the machine is the side that we're going to be laying the M58 on. I'm going to go ahead and lay a towel down where we're going to lean the machine on the counter. That way it protects that panel. I'm going to bring the machine all the way to the edge of my counter and go ahead and lean it on its side here. Using our 7mm Allen wrench or an adjustable wrench, we're going to remove the 4 screws that you see here, and that will remove this T-shaped plate, this thick T-shaped plate. And underneath this plate, you will find your pins for your steam boiler and your coffee boiler. And again, at this point, we've already cooled the machine off, let the steam out of the boilers. You want to ensure that that has already happened before you go ahead and take these pins out of the boilers. And before we pull the pins out, we just make sure that we have a bucket in place. Once we have these pins out, we're going to be tipping the machine over and letting the boilers drain directly into a bucket that I have set up. You can go ahead and loosen these up just by hand. They have a grip around the sides of the pin, and it should be loose enough to just unscrew that by hand. So there's the 1 and 2 pins here. Now I'm going to be tipping the machine back on its back 2 legs over this edge of the counter, and I have a bucket set up. We're going to drain. It's going to drop directly into the bucket. As this drains, if I open up my steam wand to release some pressure in the boiler, as well as my brew group, that will help expedite the flow of water through the boilers. It just breaks the seal inside and lets the most amount of water drain from those boilers. And once your boilers have finished draining, we can go ahead and lift the machine and bring it back on its side. At this point, we can replace the pins. They're both the same exact piece, so it doesn't matter which one goes where. And these can be tightened by hand. They don't need to be on, you don't need to crank them down, just enough to feel a little bit of resistance, and they're sealed up. We'll replace our plate, line it up with the screws here. Go ahead and put the bolts back on, and then we'll tighten them down. We can bring the machine back up on its legs. Draining your boilers can be important if you are packing machine up for shipping, or if you have your machine in storage, especially when it's going to be in a cold environment. If the water in those boilers freeze, that can damage by the water expanding. So always drain your boilers for shipping or long-term storage of more than a month or so. And that's how to drain the boilers on the Lucca M58. For more information on using this machine, check out the links here. For other tech tips, visit our knowledge base at clivecoffee.com.